Hello, everyone, and welcome to another retro episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, we shall be discussing Wait to Exhale, which came out in 1995. This is part of our 90s review. This is also part of Jamani's idea, great idea. He was like, hey, we're looking for a New Year's Eve movie. This was a New Year's movie, and we're supposed to do it last week, but things happened. So anyway, now we're doing it now, so I hope you enjoyed this. Where were you when you saw it? That kind of thing. It was a lot of years ago. But where was I? 1995, I was a senior in high school, and I saw it in theaters with my mom. I want to say my sister-in-law and my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend. That's how I saw it. So different feelings at that time than I did when I rewatched it at 40 plus. Anyway, Kim, where were you when you first saw the movie?
Oh gosh. I don't even remember when. 95. God, married with kids. Let's see. I don't remember when I saw this, actually. I know I went to the movie theater to see it. That I remember, because that scene right there was huge on the screen, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't remember. I know I was living in Maryland for sure. I was in
Married
Maryland.
with kids. You're
Yes,
overall,
married with kids.
This life perspective. You're married
Yes.
with kids, so all right. So you can identify with some of the stuff. It was like you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had a cheating husband who didn't work. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I can identify with. He's a piece of shit. So anyway.
So we will go with that. I'll say like you identified more than I did at the time with the movie I was watching. All right. Yeah. Chris, where were you when you first watched it? 1995. Or
so I was like 9. I think the whole year I was just waiting for Batman to come out. So
part 3. Part 4,
no, this is 95, dude. So like which one was that?
Batman Forever?
I think it was part
Batman
3. Forever was 3. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Man,
yeah. So I can't remember. Was that the Val? That
was the Val Kilmer one.
Val Kilmer one. Yeah. The one that Marlon Wayans was supposed to be in originally. So yeah, he was supposed to play Robin. I don't know if you knew that. Apparently he's still getting residual checks. Just random fact. Marlon Wayans to this day is getting residual checks from Batman.
Even in.
Well, because he was casted in Robin, and then they went a different director because Tim Burton was supposed to direct it. Tim Burton, they want to go with a different director, and he recasted everything. So
okay.
Yep, that's why. I'm sorry. Random fact for a Wait to Excel review.
You saw it at 9? You first saw it
Batman.
at 9? No, when did you first see this movie? I'm sorry. When did you first
when I first saw this movie?
Yeah.
Goodness. I think my mom probably got this on VHS. Like I'm sure she saw it in theaters. I heard of the movie, and then I don't know, she was probably watching it while I was probably playing the Game Boy. I remember her having the VHS. Well, I was just like, and I remember kind of watching it, and then kind of like, oh, this ain't for me. Saying it, but Whitney Houston's in it, and that was pretty much it. That's all I can. I just remember hearing. I was like, damn, this damn soundtrack playing in the car while I'm being driven to school every day, playing over and over and over again. And then finally, when I saw the movie, I was like, okay, I don't get it. Like, just what I mean. So 9-year-olds ain't going to get it, especially 9-year-old boys. So yeah. So this is actually my first time. The other day was the first time watching it since then. So yeah.
The soundtrack you took away from the 90s was the soundtrack. You could not get away from that soundtrack. There's no way.
Oh, I could not get away from that damn soundtrack. But it was a good soundtrack.
It was. It was
still
when soundtracks were something. When like that's the 90s.
Yeah, where like you get a music video and you see part of the movie in the back, like in the thing.
You're like, oh shit, I gotta get that soundtrack.
Yeah, but it was everywhere. It was like I couldn't watch. I was like, I don't know if y'all remember the box, right? Obviously, you had MTV, VH1, BET, but then you had the box where it was like you would call in, you put in like a certain number if you want to see this particular music video. And I kept trying to see 2 Live Crew, and there was another Tupac song that came out. I think it was like I Get Around or something like that. I kept trying to have, but damn, it went from freaking Toni Braxton to freaking Brandy to freaking Whitney Houston to freaking Mary J. Blige. And I'm like, oh my God, why are we getting all of these things? You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, this ain't the boss. The boss is supposed to play hip hop. But then they keep playing like all the entire soundtrack from either that movie. I think Soul Food came out around the same time. So I had to deal with that as well. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. I was like, these damn soundtracks of Black artists. God damn it. Like, you know what I mean?
Hearing
Yeah,
Charles.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Not like and 9. That's all I really kind of cared about was just superhero movies, and that was it.
The soundtrack got you. All right. All right.
Soundtrack, yep, soundtrack, yeah.
How about Jumanji? Jumanji, what was your first experience with this movie?
I saw bits and pieces over the years, most of which was through the music videos. Yeah, Babyface did that was his whole empire right there, was this and Soul Food and Boomerang. But I saw the first time I saw the movie was like 3 weeks ago, I guess you say, like in its entirety. So I may have watched it younger, as like all the way up into the burning of the car, and then like that's all that meant anything to anybody, because that's the only scene that people talked about. So it was like, yeah, I didn't get the rest of the movie, so it just was like, I can stop now. And that happened fairly at the beginning of the movie,
I got you.
Yeah, there's no way a kid would understand this, because I'm like, even as an adult, I still don't understand certain aspects.
It wasn't made for a kid.
Right.
And I'm saying, even as an adult, I don't still understand certain aspects, and it's because it's an adaptation of a book that's as thick as the Bible. Like, that hardcover book was like, my mother had the book, and it was like huge. And
I still have the book.
You still have the book?
I still have the book, because it was a book club thing we did. Yeah, so I was a member of the book club.
Oh.
And we used to read all the black books that came out during that time. Toni Morrison and Terry McMillan. And Terry McMillan was like on a roll at that time. She was just writing book after book after book. So yeah.
And like, I remember like even like watching reruns of like A Different World, and like seeing the books in like product placement or something. Like, they just have the book on shelves or people reading the book. And I'm like, I've never seen a black movie have this much build up before it came out. Like even with like Black Panther, it was like people didn't know that they wanted it until it came out. Like, it was something that was a big deal when it was like, it's out, so to say. This was like, we want it, and it was like the will of the people to get the movie made. So it was like, people wanted this movie for like 10 years. Like, there's never been a project I've seen like black people want with bated breath for like 10 years. It was it was like, even, and I'm saying like, I was like the same age as Chris. Like, I was like in the 4th grade when this came out. I was like, even I knew that it was a big deal when the movie came out.
Wow. I can't say all that. But all right, so we got that. So Kim, I feel like you are best suited, I feel, to give an opening. How'd you feel about the movie? What did you think about the movie? Even watching it, did your feelings change when you saw it again? What did you take away from it? What do you think?
Well, first time I watched it, I was 28. Second time I watched it, I'm 55. Well, I wouldn't say the second time. I've watched this movie numerous times, but I would say lately 55, right? So the movie, to me, it's always been a movie about friendship, right? And the turbulent, the things that you go through in your life. And you always have that one grounded friend, which is Loretta Devine. She is the most grounded out of all of the friends. She is the one that she's had drama with men, right? She has, but she's always still the most grounded. She has her child. It's just her and her child. And she's very, she knows how crazy her friends are, but she loves them anyway. So the relationship, the movie is, to me, is about their relationship. No matter what was going on in their life, they still were able to get together and talk about it. Either it was on the phone or they got together physically, right? And that it meant a lot to them, because they all moved away from their area. But then I would say Savannah moved away, but she came back. And they continued, the friendship was still going on, even though she had moved away, right? So I think it was always about friendship. But yes, it was about a lot of things that each one of these women went through. And I'm not condoning any of the stuff that they went through, but it takes two to tango, right? So the men are just as bad as the women in this movie. Nobody should, if you're married Do not sleep with someone else unless you're getting a divorce. Or right? If you're getting a divorce, you're separated, you're out of the house, all of that stuff. Just don't do it. That is what I took from this, because I've lost friendships over women, my friends who have slept with married men, and I got a divorce over stuff like that. So I cannot be your friend in good mind, because I know what the wife is going through, right? And then if you're a guy, you know what the husband's going through if the wife is cheating, right? So that it's flipped. So I can't be friends with people who sleep with married people, or people who cheat on other people, even if you're not married. Can't do it. It's not my thing. So I'm not condoning anything that happened, but I am saying that at the end of the day, they showed the relationship, the dysfunctional relationship, for a reason, because these relationships happen every single day. Doesn't matter what color you are. It happens in every ethnic background, Asian, Black, white, it doesn't matter. Men and women, it doesn't matter your color. You still go through the same struggles, right? So but the movie was showing our perspective, how Black people, handle these types of things, right? So I'm not condoning anything, but I am saying that the friendship is the highlight of this movie. The love that these women have for each other it actually made me cry. I was like, this is a friendship circle where they're not bickering at each other, they're not jealous of each other, they are just there for each other. And their friendship has gone through the test of time, because they've been friends since they were young kids, and that it takes a lot to be someone's friend that long, So for me, that's what the movie was about. I did enjoy watching it again. There's going to be that one part that you guys are going to harp on. And for me, I understand it. Okay. And I'm just going to talk about it now, and then I'm going to mute and let y'all go with it. The part when she says that you are going to leave her for a white woman.
Okay.
In that time, that was significant. Okay. That was a significant thing, because Terry McMillan grew up with Southern parents. Okay. Southern parents went through a lot of racism, right? And it's generational, where you have this thought that when men make it, and it happens, if you can look, people have done studies on it. People have done, papers on it. When Black men make it, they choose either super light-skinned women, or they choose white women, and they leave their Black women behind. They divorce them, they separate from them, they do whatever they can do to get away from them, because they want to be accepted in that. When you make it in business, right, you're going to be around more of the white population, right? So they feel like they're accepted more with a white wife. This has been happening forever, okay? Ever. And I don't know why it's such a big deal that it happened in this movie. It is reality. It happens. We are the struggle wife. Black women are struggle wives, because we stick by you. No matter whether you're a piece of shit or not, we still stick by you. White women get you once we've already, taught you how to do your hair, taught you to keep your nails groomed, to keep a haircut, wear this suit, don't wear that suit. Pick out, we picked out your clothes. We did everything to make sure that our man is up here, right? We hold you up. And then as soon as the business takes off, all right, I don't really need this chick anymore. Women are really attracted to me now because I look good. So I'm going to go ahead and go off with this white woman. That's why she said what she said. And she was the struggle wife. She was absolutely the struggle wife. When he was struggling in the beginning, she was there for him. When they had no money, she was there for him. When they grew their family, she was there for him. He wanted her to have long hair. She grew her hair out. And most of the time, the reason why men want your hair all the way cascading down your hair, down your back and straight, is because it reminds them of a white woman. Like Black men didn't normally like natural women with natural hair. They just didn't. And then women also started straightening their hair because we wanted men to continue to be attracted to us, because they were attracted to women with straight hair, which is white women. And that's why we started doing that in the first place. If you look in the history, that's why we started this, because we're more accepted with straight hair than we are with our natural hair, right? So Y'all can go ahead and go in. I don't care.
Wait,
I've
can
seen
I
this
ask you a
happen
quick
in
question?
real life.
Jamani.
It's actually happened in real life. I know people this has happened to. O.J. Simpson is a prime example. His first wife, she was a struggle wife. He wasn't the superstar he was. Then when he became the superstar, he didn't even get rid of her. He just cheated on her for like years, and then finally said, "Oh yeah, I'm with this 18-year-old white woman, and I don't want to be with you anymore. So yeah, bye." Right? Didn't even tell the woman. She knew he was cheating. He was like basically living with Nicole Simpson, but Juanita was not a good enough for him, so he got rid of her, and it happens. She's not the only one. I'm just saying that was like an example that you guys might know about. So, anywho, go ahead, go for it. I'll sit here and listen.
Real quick, Kim. Since you read the book and you watched the movie,
Yes,
I did not do both. How well does the movie represent the book? Because I didn't know they were friends since high school, or whatever, or even
like Savannah. I think Savannah and
Bernie probably.
Bernie were friends in high school, I believe. I'm not sure about Robin. I think Robin was later on.
Yeah.
She wasn't as long as the others.
And Gloria too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie,
but the book. I mean, they changed some things in the book, but basically the book is the movie.
Okay, so you feel like
Forest Whitaker did a great job with all of these women. Whitney was very high at this time. She was really on crack bad. And Forest Whitaker, being the director and the producer and all of that, he did an amazing job to keep her, focused and keep her, from the drugs really affecting her performance, because she did a great performance. But if you really look at it and you look at her, you can tell something's wrong. Like you can see it in her face. No, you can. Like Whitney's drug use, if you really pay attention, you can see where it started to do this.
Wow, I can see it.
But she did a good job. Oh, and the soundtrack. Oh my God, I still have the soundtrack. It's the most amazing soundtrack, hands down. Soul Food 2 and Boomerang. But this soundtrack, oh my God, I was singing all the songs. I was like, this is to get all these women together to do this soundtrack. It's phenomenal. Forest Whitaker, he needs all his flowers because he did a great job. He really did.
And Babyface, I mean, for the soundtrack. Yes. I mean, Chris and I were talking about that. Like, yes, this was his crowning achievement to me. Like,
absolutely.
In the 90s. And equal. Sorry, Jamani. About the movie. All right, like we're not going to get into the whole sidetrack down thing about white women per se. Like, as it relates to the movie, what are your thoughts about the movie and the book, please? You want to ask a question? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, well, she basically ended up answering the question, because I was saying that the impact of the movie coming out in November of '95, which was basically within 30 days of the OJ verdict, like the relevance of the acclaim of the movie, did that have anything to do with it? That was more or less, and then she began to talk about the whole OJ thing. That was more or less what I was going to say. Does that play
I don't think that had anything to do with the release date of it. I think that's the release date that Forest Whitaker had.
No, I'm not saying the release date. I'm saying the amount of acclaim that the scene and Bernadette got, because that the verdict had came out just that, within 30 days, and that was something that was being talked about. It was like a conversation that was being had within the culture and in the community at the time, and then you have a movie that reflects that.
True, that's true. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Stuff that murdering of your wife and everything. But it's just general, but interracial relationships, I guess.
You did it. No.
I was like, which one of these wives made out better? The one that's still alive, And
I'm like, it's not just Bernadette. It's not just Bernadette too. It's Tariq as well. Oh. And then you have Bernadette again later on with Wesley Snipes, because his wife is white. And I'm like, was he casted? Was this stunt casting? Like, because he got off the cleanest because he's the biggest superstar male in the movie, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he wasn't as trifling or as bad as the other men. And it was, you know, him and Gregory Hines kind of got off scot, you know, they weren't
Yeah,
bad male
yeah.
characters. But was he casted just because of his acclaim from Jungle Fever to have the white wife?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because Wesley
Wesley
Snipes
Snipes
was a
at
big
the
deal in
time
the
was
90s.
huge.
Yeah, he was
You
the
talking
90s.
about-
No,
yeah.
but I'm
Look,
saying
was
he
it?
could have played any one of those roles, but did they put him
Interest-
in that role, that specific character?
I see his
because-
point. I see his point.
His character, when they casted him as the one who cheated on his wife with the white woman, when they casted him as that?
No, to as a favorable light. His point is like even though it was just as bad, they romanticized this cheating moment, that somehow he's such a good man that loves his wife and still showing compassion to this woman he tried to pick up at the bar and some other bullshit. But they cast him in a true positive light as opposed to the asshole. That
well, did we even know that he cheated at the time? I mean, that Wesley cheated at the time. That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
the character of the person.
He
I'm talking about real life.
cheated.
Real life.
Oh, she's talking about real life. I don't know.
Oh, real life? I don't know.
Is that? I'm just trying to figure out why because I thought Jumanji said something about like how ironic or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm saying he played the character in Jungle Fever.
That's what
I'm saying.
You're doing that link.
Yeah,
man, that was like okay. That was so many years before that, and then he did a bunch of movies after that. He did like don't forget
he
did
was the
Demolition
guy.
Man.
Yeah, I'm not saying
he was the guy at that time. He was.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
he was always bet on black. Come on, man, he did a bunch of stuff.
He was past
like,
57.
Like,
but we are.
But I hear you.
Yeah, it was interesting in it. So I see your point, Jamani. That was probably taken away. That was probably the best male role and most prominent of any man in this movie. And they did give it to Wesley Snipes because he was Wesley Snipes. I mean, it was Black Hollywood.
I mean, and look at him. I mean,
so that was him in his prime.
Man?
Yeah, that was him in his prime. So that was definitely why they gave him that scene as opposed to Gregory Hines, where he could have played that character who had very little time in the movie actually.
And Gregory Hines as well, like as to what I was saying about Wesley. Every movie I've seen him in, I know he's done a lot of movies. I haven't seen all of them, but the stuff I've seen Gregory Hines in, his wife is always dead or is dying. Like his TV show he had with a lot of the characters from Waiting to Exhale, like the guy from The Wire was in it. The son from Soul Food that's in this was in his sitcom that came out like a year and a half later. His wife was dead. He had a movie before Waiting to Exhale where his wife dies and he's raising his son on his own and stuff. So I'm like, is that like, I don't understand that, but
typecasting? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I just think that's just the 90s. Like anytime you have a 90s black film or whatnot, someone is either going to be cheating, someone going to have a dead spouse, maybe a dead kid. Like that's just 90s black cinema. I think that's all that is. And I don't think it's unless you're talking about it's the action flick. If it's the action flick, then all that goes out the window. You know what I mean? But
But relationship, Jamani, like what did you as an adult, who's had a few relationships, like what relationship themes did you get from the movie? Friendship, dating, otherwise? I mean, what do you feel like the message was in this movie?
I have no idea what the message was. I guess it's friendship because they're the only thing I could really get is that they're all trying to do something on New Year's Eve one year and then the next year they decide to spend it together. Like, so they figure out that the best love is friendship that in their lives as opposed to searching for men, I guess. Like that's that's the best thing I could cobble together out of the whole movie. Because like all the stuff that happens in the middle doesn't necessarily show that. It's just like if you watch the beginning and watch the end, that's what you can get. But like the friendship throughout the movie, they get together maybe that one time to do the whole dancing and drinking and stuff like that. It doesn't, they're like friendship between each other, very separate. Like it's one calling one on the phone or like seeing each other individually. They're not clicking up as a group a whole bunch of times throughout the movie to indicate that. So
It was a lot of individual friendship moments, and then like they had their group moments. But I'm saying, it was different levels, and people connected in different ways. And you're not always friends with the same people at the same level, and all not all at the same time. But I agree. But that's definitely the friendship message. But Chris, what relationship themes did you?
Yeah, no, I felt like it was a huge. It dealt with a huge deal of sisterhood. And just. No matter what you do or what's going on in your life, your friends got your back. So, these girls, all these girls come from different ways of life. Some of them are married, some of them are divorced, or even like, I don't know, like some of them are kind of scoundrels, you know what I mean? But when they get together, like it's like, I guess even with that dancing scene when they were dancing on TLC, that they're still one as a unit and they got each other's back. So yeah, that's what I took from it. I think that's the message they're trying to portray. So,
all right. I
don't know if I should expand more, but yeah.
What's on your mind, bro? Let's do friendship. Let's do. I want to talk about the friendship messages, and I want to talk about the relationship messages because I think these are two different messages, and then black men will be in the relationship discussion. Friendship was definitely the tone of the movie. That was the purpose of the movie. And as Kim, thank you for explaining the book that Savannah and Bernie were the closest friends. Like they probably had the most history because I felt like that's what you saw. Savannah and Bernie were friends, and then the other two were kind of like there, and they kind of helped out. But those two were the friends because Bernie is sitting at home by herself, and then it was Robin and Gloria who heard from someone who saw Bernie somewhere that she was having problems, and then they called her. That's not a friend. Like she would have known that, right? It's Savannah who shows up and it's like, "Hey, girl, I'm here for you. Like, what's going on?" Mm-hmm. Like, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So then, like, what kind of?
But Bernie knew Gloria longer.
So
remember, she said when she was cutting her hair, she was like, "I've know you." Yeah, I've been doing your
So like clients, not friends, right? Like I'm like close girlfriends, you call before you burn somebody's house. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Savannah probably got that call of I burned the car. And you might want to come see me because I'm going through some shit, right? Like, and you don't call the phone and get the answering machine when it's your friend. You show up to the house and be like, "Hey girl, what's going on?" Right? Mm-hmm. And then I think Gloria should have been the focus of this movie. But I mean, Angela Bassett was the star. Whitney Houston was the star. She was coming after Bodyguard and the soundtrack of Bodyguard. But Gloria was the glue. Like I said, she was the most reasonable person here, and none of her issues were dealt with by her friends. They didn't even know about them throughout the whole movie. And I was
but isn't that usually what happened? The person that holds everybody else together, nobody knows what they're going through. That happens all the time. It's a shame. It's sad, but it's true because they're always looking to hold up their friends, and they don't. They hold everything in for themselves because they don't want to add more to the friend, right? So
I just felt like if improvement would have been that. Like I don't need the two men can't fuck scenes. I don't need any of that. Like give me Gloria talking to her girlfriends about the fact that she found out her baby daddy is gay now. And how Tariq dealt with it. And how she's dealing with the fact that Tariq wants to go and she met Gregory Hines, and none of that gets discussed. Like when she finally figures out that she's okay with Tariq leaving, none of that gets discussed with any of those women. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? I mean, it wasn't until I was like, that's not, these aren't friends. And I'm like,
but David, look at the picture behind you, man. Look at the picture. Who is the ones that's actually looking at each other in the eye? There's only two people.
Savannah.
I know. Savannah. I'm looking at your picture. I'm like, I was like, and then the other two are just there. So they're just like, we're just so happy to be here. We're just so happy to be here.
Robin was Sunshine from Harlem Nights. So I'm like, that's
she was.
Yeah. No, I gotta disagree with that because I'm like, she in Harlem Nights, that guy called up and said, "I'm not coming home." None of those guys said that.
I'm saying my point is like
she was.
No, Anyway,
What'd
she
you say?
said in this movie she wasn't that good that the men were willing to leave. I guess this is to your point, but I'm saying, but the actress, when I see her to this day, she's sunshine. Period. That's why I refer to her. I mean, sorry.
I think of Boomerang, but well, another Eddie Murphy.
Oh, she
Oh, that's right.
She was
That's
in
right.
Boomerang. I
She was
forgot
in
that. She had
she
the
was the
little
first-
dog, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
walking.
And the feet. He was like, I can't stay with
her
the feet. And then he crawled out the bed.
And they were jacked up.
Hey,
I guess that's my youth. I think of Wayne's Brothers when she was in the first season.
That's right. The first season she played Sean's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I forgot, and then she just disappeared after that. Oh, you know what? That's right. She gave birth. That's
She
what. and then that's
disappeared
when
to do this movie, which came out the next year.
No. Wayne's Brothers came after that.
No, Wayne's Brothers first season was 95, like the beginning, like it was like a mid-season replacement at 95, and then this movie
It wasn't
came
that
out-
early.
Huh?
Google it and we'll get back to that. All right, but I'm saying, so I'll say, as we try to improve stuff, I would say Gloria's issues should have been more fleshed out, and her friend should have been there for her.
It did start in 95. Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
It started in
damn.
95.
Damn,
Yeah. All right, damn. Good catch, man.
And I was like, but like I just that's probably my biggest problem. Was Gloria's character, the lack of attention like placed on her story of all the issues she dealt with. Again, she's the only one that had any kind of decent chance at a real relationship, and like no one even brought that up, not even her.
Now, question for you, and then I don't know, maybe Kim knows from maybe just reading the books or whatever. But do you think that's probably because you got a movie that's starring Whitney Houston and Angela Bassett? The other two, you got to remember, this is early on in Loretta's career. Angela and especially Whitney are already household names at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like I saw, like to your point, Jamani, I saw the episode, that Oprah episode where they had all the cast of Waiting to Excel. Why did Oprah only focus on just on those two for the like majority of? She didn't even say Loretta's name until like towards the very end. Like so, you know what I mean? It's I'm wondering. I guess I'm wondering if like maybe they filmed a whole bunch of stuff and then they were like, oh, we don't have enough of Whitney. We need more of Whitney. Oh, we need even more Whitney. Like, oh, where's Angela? Oh, that, you know, and I'm wondering if it was that, maybe.
I see. We could go down that
road, because Loretta didn't really do anything before this, I don't think. Like nothing big.
Oh no, she was acting. She just wasn't a household name like Whitney and.
I mean, but this was like her breakout film.
No,
this
actually,
wasn't Angela.
Well, she was on Broadway. I saw her in Dreamgirls on Broadway. She was doing Broadway. She was doing
but the masses. But you think Hollywood was looking at her at Broadway though?
No, well, I mean, she was doing little movies, right? Like little small roles and stuff, like co-star roles and stuff. But she wasn't anywhere near where Whitney and Angela were. Nowhere near.
What's love got to do with it? I mean, this is after what's love got to do with it. So like,
she was not. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess I'm wondering if they were like, well, you got two essentially. I guess I don't know if you want to really call Whitney A-list, but I guess whatever.
She was at that time.
At this time, definitely.
At that time,
sure. I mean, she just did that in Preacher's Wife and some Bodyguard shit. Okay, and half the time she's always being
phenomenal soundtrack, y'all. Phenomenal soundtrack.
You know, it's in like Preacher's Wife, and then Bodyguard. She always gotta get picked up by someone. One film was a white guy. The other one's Denzel, like picking up her body. Like, come on, man. Like Whitney. I know you on them drugs, but come on, man. You wake up.
It was interesting. It was interesting. She referred to one of Robin's lovers as a crackhead. That shit was that was ironic. I mean,
I want her to be like crackhead. I want her to be like,
you know, and then that never got resolved. I'm just saying, like, she could have been the one to help Gloria. I'm just saying, so maybe not the point, but I'm saying Gloria's issues of when she decided again, I want to stay, I want to work it out with her man across the street. Like, I'm okay with Tariq leaving. Like, it should have been the girlfriends who help her understand that she's been treating Tariq like her man. Like, and she needs to work through that.
So what you're saying, right?
Huh?
I think the issue is that she is the glue to the group, but she knows that they're toxic and they are bad decision makers. Why? She's not gonna be, she doesn't want them to influence her.
That's a good point.
That's a good point, to be a bad decision maker.
Dave.
So I'm like,
why
she ended up making a good choice on her own, which might be why she didn't go to them.
I'm about to say, like, do you think she won't take advice from the girls that be cheating on the, you know what I mean?
So let's
because I'm like, you look at Bernadette, right? Bernadette has a husband who's basically been cheating, and then because she knows that he's been cheating, she's like, so you're leaving me for her? Like, I've already known about her, right? Like, this is established. And the friend that comes over is the one that has a long going relationship with the married man to help her. So it's like they are in this.
Well,
no. Kenneth came later.
Kenneth came later. Were like, she didn't have.
Kenneth came later. Kenneth came later.
Are you in good hands?
No,
you get.
No, I'm saying movie he came later in the movie, but they said that she had been with him for years before.
He was chasing her.
He was chasing her.
He was chasing her.
Yeah,
and she would never give in.
No, he was gone. It was the mom that hooked them up later. But at the moment when he came to see like Bernie, they weren't together. Like, she was single, period. She just got done fucking Mr. Gurr dude. Like, I mean, she was on some other silly shit. But to your point of bad decisions, I agree.
Like Robin, like who's going to take any advice from Robin?
Oh my
God,
absolutely.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So you nix her. So now you're down to 2.
Well, okay. So from a kid, at least to be like, I made this, by the end of the movie, when all of them have had their transformation or some shit, none of them told the other one what happened. Bernie got her money. The only person who knows that is Savannah, because she was there. The other two weren't even there. Gloria didn't tell anyone, I got a man and I'm letting Tariq go off to so-and-so. Robin is pregnant for the second time and didn't tell anybody anything. Like, I'm like, she's going to be a single mother next year. Like, they all have futures that they didn't tell each other any of this shit. And to be like, but now we're together, we all have futures. And so I was kind of irritated. I was irritated with that. But Jemani, and then she wasn't holding her friends accountable, Jemani, because in the club, when Bernie is dancing with Herbert, the married man, it's Robin, ironically, who says, you know, he's married, and she's steadily fucking a married man at this moment. And Bernie, who just got done committing arson and assault, is like, well, if his wife is at home, he has to worry about me, girl. So, and she fucks that dude. Like, and you don't see Gloria, huh?
Destruction of property. That closet scene. Oh my God.
Yo, none of this gets addressed. Like, where's my clothes? Where's my car? You slapped the shit out of my, I guess, fiance at some point.
Kelly Preston, R.I.P. I forgot. I mean, I didn't realize she was the white girl in this, but you know, it was cool to see her. Yeah, that was Kelly Preston. You know, who just passed away. She's passed away.
Oh, John Travolta's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it didn't matter because she was just the one that got slapped. And you never see her. I'm like, but again, Gloria doesn't hurt her friend like accountable for any of that shit. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, Bernie fucked that dude, and then the Wesley Snipes scene. I was like, I thought it was cool when I was a kid when I first watched it, and then when I watched it again now, I'm like, this is that bullshit. Like, I was irritated with this whole thing with the messaging of that particular one. Robin, the guy from The Wire worked for Robin. Like, he just got hired to her team. So how is she gonna be like, hey, baby, you're gonna buy me this big house that I want? I'm supposed in an expensive neighborhood, and I'm like, but wait a minute, shouldn't you make more money than he does? Because he works for you. And then,
so we already know that Robin's character makes terrible decisions.
But that don't even make logical sense.
Period.
No,
she's not the smartest one out of the crew either. We know this. She's like that character that they always have, who's like, you're beautiful, but you're dumb. Right? Remember that trope has been in a lot of movies, right?
All right.
Yeah. Not only that, David. Actually, so I saw Terry on that Oprah episode, and she said when she did create Robin, she wanted to create like she said, we all know this ditz,
the ditzy,
like the ditzy character. So she purposely put the ditzy character in there.
In that one.
She said, because when Oprah asked her, I think she said, like, which character are you more like aligned with? Like, or and then she asked her, are these characters more like a mixture of all of them? And he said, even Robin. She said, well, Robin's more just the ditzy character I create. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So just to kind of say, but we all know
we all have that friend.
Who just don't make good decisions.
That's
right.
That's
so yeah. Yeah.
And that's
And
really
she's not the smartest. Like she just common sense kind of escapes her, right?
But I mean, from a relationship standpoint, Bernie, fucking Savannah, and Robin, like all three of them, like were at some point were sleeping with a married man. Robin was doing it for the longest on her second pregnancy by a
With
married
Leon.
man.
Mhm.
And I was like, God damn! But it's like I didn't. Bernie just most irritated more than anything else. Of the three. Because what is she to dialogue? 'Cause I know Jamani wants to talk about this. I didn't understand her point when she was like, I was your white woman for 11 years. I'm like, what the
Because she changed herself to make herself more. She had the light contacts in her eyes. She had the hair all the way down her back, and it was processed. She was next to him during the entire time that he was running this business. She was next to him. So basically, she's saying that she was his white woman, meaning that now the white woman is by his side with him, standing next to him, and it was just a metaphor, kind of basically.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't
I understood
literally.
Yeah, I was gonna say I understood what she meant. She meant like I basically had to change who I was.
Yes.
Like AKA the white woman. Like, you know what I mean? What your stereotype of what a white woman is. I had to become this white woman, basically like not back talk, not do all this other stuff,
Mhm.
you know, just be, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then
Right.
you know.
I thought again, I would say just beyond that, I thought her focus on again, and no one helped her kind of be like, hey, let's look at the bigger issue, right? Like your husband left, right? Let's kind of like talk about that.
But
like,
but as a Black woman, that is a big issue. That you have to remember that is a big issue for Black women, and it still is. It still is.
True,
but I'm just saying
still.
that's why no one was like, oh my God, why would you feel this way? Because they all feel that way.
All right, so I think it's not about necessarily her being white, it's just her being different and him trying to change her. It's like if it was a guy, if he left her for a guy and he had her dressing like a boy and acting like a boy, and it was like, well, I was your boy for all of these years and now you're leaving me for an actual boy or something like that. It's not necessarily, it seems as though it has the historical context of the whole racist aspect, but it's more or less the issue of I was trying to be all that for you, changing myself, and now you're just leaving me for the actual thing, the real thing.
Is that why Loretta's hair is short in this film? Maybe her husband said, hey, you know what? You look better if you cut your hair. It's like, really? He said, yeah. And then can you put on this jersey?
She married a man that was probably bisexual, and she knew it. She knew it, because you do know sometimes. And because she was a heavier set woman, I don't think she was ever really like a small person. Sometimes you settle for things just because someone is showing that they care for you, they love you, right? And she probably knew deep down in her heart that this man was sleeping with other men, right? Yeah. But she married him anyway, and she had a baby, and people think when you have a baby, that's going to change everything, right? He's not gonna go out with anybody else or mess with anybody. He's gonna just be with us because we're a family now. That man was probably always bisexual.
Yeah, she was happy when she said, oh, maybe he'll sleep over tonight.
Right. And that was so sad. That was so sad.
And again,
I think that they should have had a better correlation to like Gloria heard about what happened with Bernadette. She sees Tariq with the white woman and has a visceral reaction, and then that's why it comes out or whatever about the father being gay. Like it should have been more. They should have showed the correlation better about how Bernadette tried to change, and she tried to so to say change for his father or whatever, and now she's conflating the two things in her head, and she's seeing him with the white girl, which is why she's like, oh, you're definitely not going to Spain now.
Well, then that don't make any damn sense, because then it's like she's okay. So I like how John, the husband, did ask the logical question: would you be okay if I left you for a Black woman? If she was Black, and her response was, I'd be happy if you were Black. Like, that's not an answer to the question. Like, I like how some of the men answers just asked the question that I was asking, because I'm like, would you be happy? But anyway.
But with arguments like that, how many times does it really make sense? People
Okay,
say
but
stuff that doesn't
to
really.
answer that
I mean,
question,
seriously, they say stuff, right? You don't always make sense when you're in an argument. You just don't.
True. So, but at some point for character development, right? She never got past the race issue. She never got past to be like, hey, why?
Because she changed herself into what he said he wanted. And she said, I gave him what he wanted.
no,
But she
but
didn't give her, she
Hold
said
on.
that. She said, I gave him what he wanted, which means that she was at all the dinner parties. She looked beautiful, right? She had the long hair. She changed her eye color. She did everything that he wanted. She made herself into what she thought he wanted her to be. And she was perfect for a long time. For a long time. 11 years is a long time to be married. It was fine. But at some point when he became this executive, this big, that's when all of a sudden she wasn't enough. And he was cheating. I believe he was cheating and she knew about it. But at the same time, it doesn't make it right. He was cheating on her, but she still was sticking by him. That's the point. She was
Is
still
it because
there.
because of money though? I mean, that's what
No, it wasn't. It wasn't because of money. She actually loved him. If you look at the
I don't know.
when
I
they
don't know,
did
Kim.
the
I got to
tapes,
put flag on play on that
no,
one.
when they did the tapes and everything, but she deserved that money. She was there in the beginning through the struggle. And you mean to tell me that she didn't deserve the money when they got?
No, that's not what I said. No, I'm saying she stood by because of the money.
No, I don't think. Why is it because she got the what? Why
because her
can't you
first
just love your
response when he
husband?
said he was leaving was like, "What am I supposed to do? Like, how am I
Because
supposed to
she
live?"
took the money
That's a fair
from
question.
her.
Like she's a
Yeah,
housewife.
which means she
like what the
needed
fuck
money.
is she supposed
No,
to
no,
do?
Because
no.
it was
She
to your
did-
point.
no,
She
Chris,
knew he was
she
cheating.
stayed a housewife because he asked her to. She made herself what he wanted the entire time they were married. She never once, she stuck by his side. She followed him like most wives are supposed to. She did not work because he wanted her to take care of the kids and be a housewife. In the beginning, she worked for him. She got the business up. And then when they had kids, she stayed home. A lot of men want their wife to stay home and take care of the kids. She did that. So she did sacrifice herself for this man and this family.
Yeah.
So why are you saying
I don't disagree
about
with
the
that.
money? It's not only about the money. It's the principle of the thing that I have
No,
stuck
but
by.
let's be
now-
realistic though. Let's be realistic with a lot of relationships. Period. Right. A lot of times, people. This is why you always hear about like certain like when you like for athletes. Let's say athletes are probably the biggest thing, right? You always hear about certain athletes. Like obviously, they'll have like wives and whatnot. You know, and then you hear that all of a sudden there's a scandal, right? You know, and then a lot of times, a lot of times, sometimes they stay put. You know what I mean? And I gotta tell you, it's. No one likes to admit this, but a lot of times because my life is comfortable. That's the answer. The life is comfortable. You know, they say I like my life is comfortable, and I don't want anything to disrupt that. You know what I mean? And that don't necessarily make you necessarily a gold digger. That just means like literally it's just like I don't want to give up this life here. Like you know what I mean? And you know, I mean, I just felt like she should have been
for 11 years. What job is she gonna do? And what job is she gonna have? She's gonna have.
She wouldn't have had to have a job because she had a house that was going to be mortgage free.
Wait.
She also had.
No, he told her to sell the house.
No. He said you can sell the house. You know what I mean? He said I'm giving you the house. You should sell. He said, what am I going to do for money? He said, well, sell it. You know, he gave him that option. He gave her the option to do that. You know what I mean? But I'm just.
To Mark's point, and I wanted to bring up the whole working thing. When she was doing her rant of like, you know, I can't believe I did all this. She has a degree and she wanted to be a caterer. She wanted to start catering. She said, I couldn't put it off for him. I put it off for him, right? Once she got the money, right? What she should have said was, what are you doing now? You got the money. What are you doing now? I'm going to start the catering business. Like to be like I'm going to stand on my own. Like I'm going to take care of myself. Like that would have showed progression, and it would have tied to her rant that she had a life that she could have had. She was educated. She put all that stuff into her husband, and she thought it was going to work, and it didn't. But I would have liked her to acknowledge what she said during the rants. And to be like that she's going to work now. To Chris's point of why did she stay during the cheating? That would have been a fair conversation with her girlfriends, right? Like Why did you stay? What did this white girl come from? Oh, I knew he was with this white girl. Why did you stay? I loved him. I was staying for the money or whatever. But that's a fair question. If she knew this whole time that they were together, that would have been a good dialogue with Savannah. Like, why did you stay?
But you stay because it's just common sense. You stay because you have a family and because you love your husband and because you have kids, and kids are affected very negatively to a divorce. I know this because I live this. You stay because you love your kids and your kids deserve a dad. That's why you stay. It is not always about the money. I had no money. There was no money there. Yeah. It was about my boys having their dad. Whether he was a good dad or a bad dad, he was there and he came home to them. And they were, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not always about
but her
money.
rant included all of that. Great. But the first thing she did was not like, hey, let me check on the kids. The first thing was, let me grab his shit, light the stuff on fire.
Well, and, go through anger
and literally
first.
The words she used was, her words was not, hey, what are me and my kids going to do? The words is, what am I going to do? Yeah, well, no, even after he said, hey, I'm gonna get the kids every other week or weekend or whatever he said, like I'm picking the kids up or whatnot. The first thing out of her mouth wasn't about the kids. To your point, Kim, if she would have just started off with the kids or whatnot, and not just have like one little random line about the kids, absolutely. But no, it sounded like the way she kept going on with her rant and talking to her friends that she was talking about just herself and you know what I mean?
I just. So in the courtroom, she said, like, how am I supposed to take care of the kid? Like, kids were on the list. I mean, from a personal perspective, she was like, you cheated on me, not she cheated on the kids. So of course she was looking at it from like her point of view on that. But financially, she was like, I gotta take care of the kids. She immediately has to start doing that because he's leaving. So I'm saying, so she has to be like, how am I gonna take care of these? How am I gonna take care of us and the kids? I'm saying, so
that was one thing I didn't like either. That court case, I didn't understand. Isn't it, even back then, wasn't it still 50-50? So why is it that like, I mean, I don't understand why she didn't get, if what she got at the end was like 50% at the end anyway?
It depends on the state. It depends on the state. They're getting divorced in Arizona, so there's a whole lot of things with that. Nothing's automatic.
Oh, so it's not necessarily 50-50.
It's not automatic. And
California and New York, I think they're the only two states that is 50-50. Like you get half of whatever.
I think it's Cali, because Cali, you get divorced.
That's what I said. California and New York. That's when that's why a lot of people get married. This is the thing too. People get married and no, seriously, and it's bad. But people get married in states where that's not the law.
Yeah,
like they'll be like, let's have a wedding somewhere else.
Vegas.
Yeah, and it's right because you can't enforce 50-50. You can live in that state, but you can't enforce because you got married in a different state.
So that becomes the issue with that. Like, so I wanted to see development out of Bernie from the financial standpoint. To Chris's point, like, just to be like, again, she was a housewife, her husband took care of her. I totally understand that. Your issue of like, again, I stayed for the kids. I'm not saying she didn't stay for the kids. I'm saying that was not a conversation, right? To be like, to show why she stayed. You know, so not everyone stays for loyal, like good reasons, like for the kids. Like some people stay because again, they don't feel like working. But we didn't get that with her. And even when she got the money, what is she doing to relive her dream? She never talked about that.
Right.
So it's like that's what
because
I'm saying.
They went to another scene. They did. Forest Whitaker, what you're saying, she should have expanded the scene.
No, I'm saying, no, just at the end of the movie. Like I said, at the end of the movie, when everybody's talking about what happened and how the year have. I got the money, acknowledge that, because they should have known about. And then what are you going to do? What's next? Like, what is this next? You're like, I'm going to start my business. Like, I'm going to. So we at least know that she has a plan. That it's not just living off
because the way it ended, because it ended so abruptly, it would make anyone just think like, oh, she just took money, she's just living off of that money, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's how it looked, because there's nothing else to it.
Yeah,
like we know more about what's going on with Tariq going overseas than we do who was only there for like a couple minutes. Like. I like Donald Faison. I didn't even know he was in this film. I was like, oh shit, Donald's in this. All right, cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it just again, because she said that a lot. I was supposed to do the catering thing one year. I was supposed to do a catering the other, right? So it just remember, Savannah could have reminded her, girl, don't you remember you want to start the catering business? Now you can do that. I think, and then she could have been like, all right, I got it. That's all I'm saying. But again,
so it could have been better dialogue.
Yeah, and just like I said, this futures for everybody. Again, single motherhood. Robin could have looked to Gloria. What is it like, girl? Like, you know, like
I think to be honest with you, the only one that we got what's gonna happen next was from Robin. She's the only one that got like a scene where she was basically like, I'm gonna have this baby and this is my life for the next year, basically. Like nobody else, we don't really know what's happening with
you know, so ironic. That's what happened to Gloria. In real life.
I mean, Gloria's gonna be with the boyfriend. We got that, right? His son is gone. But then Savannah, what is Savannah doing? And then Bernie, we know she got the money, but what is she doing after that?
Well, so
I think Robin got the last scene, basically.
Well, so Robin and Gloria got the happy ever after, because Gloria got a man, so that's her happily ever after. She already has a job. I'm gonna say, I mean, so it's not.
Well, I don't know. Robin's is a happily ever after. Nobody wants to be a single mom, but
I'm saying from her point of view that she's like, she stopped looking to men to validate her,
right?
Like, right. So that kind of like, I'm independent, and now I'm gonna be a mom. I'm gonna put myself in my child. That's that was supposed to be her arc, I think. You know, for Savannah was supposed to be happy that she finally, once again, I don't need a married man to validate me. And I'm saying, but then again, her mom was trifling for pushing a married man on her.
Oh my God. Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. Oh my God, the mother was trifling. I love that actress. Don't get me wrong. She's always somebody's mama, like Loretta Devine. But if you have a mama that's telling you that this is acceptable behavior, that is a trash mama. Yeah. And what was she doing in her youth?
Right.
How did she get your daddy?
Right. Where's daddy? Let me. Because you sound like a single woman right now. So what this how you got daddy? Like, yes. And to that point, so thank you. To this point, like, that's why Bernie got on my damn nerves. Robin got on my even worse, because Robin was fucking a married man for so long. She had 2 babies by this dude. Yes. And somehow she's portrayed as the victim. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Well, Robin, but Robin is But Robin has no common sense. Robin is dumb, and she has no common sense. Right, but that's why she keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
But I'm saying, if you look at, even Bernie though, so Bernie's supposed to be the focus of this movie, right? She got her husband cheated on her. He's a terrible man. Blah 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 blah. She sleeps with a married man, no conscience whatsoever. Her only response is that the dick wasn't good, and now he's calling me all the time.
But hurt people hurt people. That's what she did. That's what she was doing. She was like, I'm free. I'm just going to do what I got to do. She was trying to do what we perceive men to do. When they're hurt, they'll just go and mess with another chick to like hurt your feelings or whatever. She was like, I'm just going to get my groove back, basically. So I'm just going to sleep with him and sleep with him and do this and do that. She was being trifling. We know this. We know she was, but she was trying to make herself feel better, but she was being trifling. We all know that.
But she could find a man to sleep with a married man.
No, she didn't care. That's the thing. She was being trifling. She did not care.
She should have got slapped. I'm saying her, Robin,
was slap her. The wife wasn't there. Huh? There was no wives.
And my point, like all 3 of those women, since mistresses get slapped before this movie was over, all 3 of those women, she got slapped by at least one of the wives that was being fucked around. I would.
But what about the husband? The husband, but nobody's forcing these men to sleep with these women.
So now,
why can't the wife slap the husband?
To your point,
takes 2 to tango.
So wife, so therefore, what's his name? So Robin's baby daddy's wife should have came over to Robin's place, since he was laying in the bed like he lived there, right? And therefore slap both of them. I'm just saying, no, John didn't slap anybody. Bernadette walked into his business and slapped that woman, no conversation, and she felt completely justified for that. So I'm saying, so clearly she focused her anger on the woman, like her physical anger on the woman. It's the dumbest thing that
people do, though, but they do it. Just like when it's vice versa. If your wife is cheating with a man, you punch the dude in the mouth. It's your wife.
Well, I'm just saying. I wanted one of those women. I wanted one of the women to get hit in the mouth to justify it. Also, and then the Wesley Snipes scene. It really irritated.
Robin should have.
Huh?
No. I said Robin definitely should have got her ass slapped. And I don't mean like her ass slapped in bed. I meant like she should have actually got slapped.
I mean, 2 babies. You with this? You fucking.
She didn't have a lot back there, Chris. It might have hurt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. She was kind of small.
I'm like, damn, and then you gonna go on this poor guy who's trying, like the poor Wendell Price.
Oh, the heavyset guy.
Poor Wendell Price. I was like, man, he's like, man, I ain't never gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I say in the 2000s, I'm gonna do this little film this little show that's gonna take place in Baltimore rather than do it with this shit. Talking about how sweaty he was and all this other crap.
Also, again, so you saw the two men unable to have sex. This movie made me not want to talk in bed. With the one thing I took away from this movie when I was in high school was like, I will never talk in bed, because both of these men, all these men was like, grr, we got the inner monologue of how these two men couldn't fuck twice for some reason, twice.
Because that happens.
It happens. Kenneth put it down on Savannah, and we got no inner monologue. No inner monologue where she was like, he went all night, he ate my pussy. No man does that. I mean, give me an inner monologue of a black man pleasing a woman, just to bounce it out a little bit. But we got none of that. I was like, I wanted that inner monologue. I mean, just say we can do it every once in a while.
You need to contact Forrest Whitaker.
Damn it. you fucked us on this one, Forrest Whitaker. I felt also, anyway, the Wesley Snipes scenes. When I first saw it, I thought it was romantic. Too, like you're supposed to, I think. But then I look back on it and I'm like, this is a piece of shit.
Well, it was emotional cheating. Yeah.
No, that only because he was prepared for physical cheating. Like, he picked up a woman. His wife is dying of cancer. He picks up a woman at a bar, takes woman to said room, then romantically explains to this woman, whatever happens tonight, I am not leaving my wife. Mm-hmm. And she was like, wow, I wish I used to have a man that loved me this much. I was like, stop. This is ignorance. I was so mad at this. This man has a wife dying of cancer, picked you up at a bar, took you to his room, and you think it's romantic that he's telling you, I ain't leaving my wife though, but we can let, and he's like, oh, wow. And she's like, this is.
But how do you feel about Wesley? Like you're saying, like, you putting it all on Bernie.
No, I said he's a piece of shit. I said that. I said that. One, we don't even verify that said white wife exists. This all could be a story he uses to get draws.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, but they painted Wesley as this loving husband who just needed a moment to talk to someone about his. Now, like, this is bullshit. And this is the second married man that she went up into a bedroom with. I'm like, no, stop.
No, wait.
What's up, Jamani?
I wasn't bothered by the whole everything dealing with Wesley on camera. It was the letter that she got. And
how did you find it?
I was like, that kid was doing lipstick, or she was like, I thought the kid was gonna burn down the house at some point, right? Because she just totally was oblivious to that kid and what was going on with that kid as she read the letter. Like, it was like the kid was doing everything to try to get her attention. She was just like reading the letter, and like, so did she ever follow up on that? Like, you guys are talking about the catering business. I'm like, the way she was reading that letter, whatever happened with that? It just opened.
I mean, something tells me after his wife passes, he sent the second one after that.
Absolutely.
Well, he said, I'm never going to send another letter unless you contact me.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, did she contact him? So I guess we need a wait and exhale too, because all these answers.
But also to the point, that could have been part of the discussion. Like, hey, girl, I met this guy. Yeah, he's married, but who gives a fuck, right? I'm old enough to wait out a dying wife, because I couldn't believe that these women had that. That irritated me too. All these women getting together talking about how men ain't shit. List things. None of the issues were marriage. None of it. They got big dicks, can't fuck. They got little dicks, can't fuck. They go to prison. They're gay. Oh, okay. None of them said marriage was a problem. All they said was, I'm not old. I'm too old to wait out a married man. I was like,
well, only two of them were even married, unfortunately.
Who?
Bernie was the only one. Bernie was the only one that.
Yeah, Bernie and
Gloria.
Gloria. Well, I guess she was married.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Robin never been married, and Loretta. Well, no, I mean, and Savannah's never been married.
No, but I'm saying, but why? I'm saying, so Savannah was waiting out Kenneth, who was married. Robin was waiting out her baby daddy, who was married.
Leon.
So Leon, who was married. So both of them have current married men that they're trying to wait out. And Bernie.
Well, Savannah dumped hers,
but not at this moment. At this moment, she's still on the table of waiting out this. But that's why she did it, because she's like, I'm too old to wait out this married man. I shouldn't be fucking around with him because he's married. And even Bernie technically could wait out fucking a dying wife, I guess. It's again, somehow this is romantic. your wife is dying of cancer and you're writing letters to a hotel, really, so it could forward to this woman because it was an envelope within the envelope. So I'm like, how'd you get her address? I was like, you wrote the hotel and somehow they forwarded it to someone who just happened to be visiting because she wasn't staying at the hotel. So I'm like, how the fuck did you? Because he didn't think the letter was even going to get to her. So I was like, where are your kids? And then I'm like, Bernie, where are your kids when you out there fucking these married men? Like, where are your kids at?
Well, the one kid was busy doing soul food at the same time. So that's what's yep. He was trying to keep that family together. He was the glue, him and Big Mama.
But I'm like, to go back to what you were saying, he said the husband, right, you know, who is a cheating guy in both movies, you know, and soul food, you know, he's like,
yeah, that's right. That's right. He's that go-to black cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Beach.
Damn.
He did. Oh, and also he's on Truth Be Told on Apple Plus with Octavia Spencer. He played her husband, and he didn't cheat. More so, he's
mostly cheating.
Yeah, and so they got a divorce. Yeah.
Damn. That's what I'm saying.
It was more so her. Like she had like her ex-boyfriend is in the picture too. So he had some reasons. Mekhi Phifer is in that show too.
Wait, what's emotional cheating? What is that?
Emotional cheating is like, say you have a friend, like me and you talk all the time, and we talk about if we could be together, like we romanticize being together, right? We're supposed to just be friends. You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Oh, I thought you meant like more mental or something, like more of like you thinking.
No, it's an emotional affair. You're not sexual with the person, but you talk about sex, or if we had sex, and you talk about things that you shouldn't be talking about with another woman when you're married.
Gotcha.
That's what emotional cheating is.
Oh, like the dude from Maroon 5 just got hit with his wife.
Yeah, kind of.
I guess that's because he was flirting with the girl in DMs, and then while his wife was pregnant, and then didn't happen. Then she tried to put him on blast. Yeah, damn. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, because I thought for some reason you meant just like thinking about it. I'm thinking like, damn, I guess everybody's cheating.
No, you gotta have
action. You're active like if it's like the way that you're acting is like if you didn't have a spouse, y'all would be together.
Yeah.
But the problem with
that might be the case for a lot of cases.
Wait. But when you say emotional cheating, I'm like, when you say you're talking about, what do you call it? Like, if we had sex or you're flirting or whatever, that's not necessarily emotions. That's like, you're still having like a lusting factor.
Yeah,
when
but it's
like emotional cheating,
too, but it's also like, emotional too.
The emotional part is like where you're like when people say you're at work and they say like, that's your work wife or your work husband. And it's like, you guys are
no,
like,
that's different. I have several of those. No, that's
no, but I'm saying in the sense that you guys have like some sort of bond or emotional connection where like you're invested in each other's families and lives.
What Wesley said to her basically was, if I never see you again, he still has these powerful feelings for her.
I'm in love with you.
I'm in love with you, and I realize that I can't be with you right now because I love my wife, but I really, really love you. And it's like, dude, that's you. What? That's an emotional thing.
That's most
telling her.
And you guys are cuddling up in bed.
That's why I'm saying, dude. I'm telling her Bernie ain't shit. Like neither one of them is shit. But Wesley Snipes really, and she's like, oh, this is so beautiful. His wife.
But isn't that showing that these women are messed up? Like their expectations for men is really, really low. Who they see themselves as people, they're not worthy of having a really actual good man. They choose to have other people.
If anything, Kim, it makes me question how this movie became a classic. Like about some cheating. Like,
because women know women's stories. That's how it became a classic. Yeah. Women know women's stories, and that's it. The soundtrack, that right there.
Yeah,
and then it's.
I mean, but no one's talking about the movie Wild Wild West. Just the soundtrack. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference.
No.
Everyone's talking about the soundtrack. You talk about the movie, you're like, ooh.
Chris, it's this group of women together were phenomenal. Whether you say what these women were going through, yes, they were terrible. Everybody was wrong. But when you put these women together and the acting skills together, right? And then they were telling stories that women, Black women have gone through, right? They're telling truth. This is not lies. They were telling truth. But the way they acted it was phenomenal. These women did their job. Yeah. They did, and Forrest Whitaker directed them. So he did his job. You see what I'm saying? And the Black men in the movie also, don't get me wrong, the Black men did their job too. Leon played a perfect snake. The guy who threw, what's the other guy that threw the Troy. Oh, he played perfectly as a horrible person. And
that's
eventually
right.
Both for Shrimp.
They did their job. So that's why it became a classic, because it was,
however,
the ensemble of it.
But the thing about I noticed though is when you have movies where it stars like where it is starring men and then the men are doing dirt, the men always gets what's coming to them at the end. These women didn't really get what's coming to them. They get happy ending. Oh, Happy New Year. Yeah. Like,
have you watched Boomerang?
But every,
he ended up with Halle Berry. He
got with Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's his face from Def Jam, How to Be a Player? Like Bill Bellamy, he did not. Like Def Jam, his ass got caught.
But
in the very beginning, he tells you.
Okay, Boomerang is the classic, right? I understand How to Be a Player was good too. That was great.
Boomerang ain't matter of fact, I know Boomerang ain't no Waiting to Exhale.
Hold up. I would say he did get caught because Halle Berry's like, Love sure brought your ass home last night.
That's true. He got caught at the end. No, Kirsten's talking about the end. At the end, Eddie Murphy got his woman.
Yeah, I mean he had to work for it, but yeah, he got caught.
He got his woman. And there's a lot of movies like that.
But what I'm saying is but as far as accountability goes, right? Accountability. Like if there's a man that stars in the movie and he's doing something like that, the man always has to be accountable. But if it's the woman that's starring in the movie that's doing that, it's hot girl summer. Like
to Christian's point, like there was no point of accountability at all in the movie for the women. Like they were never called to task.
Like Robin. Where was it with Robin? Robin was just like, oh, I'm just gonna raise this kid alone. Like, yo, like wait a minute, hold on. Like, how come someone's spouse didn't just run through her house and just like slap her, like for example? Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing. We did talk about her. At the end, the women had their exhale moment. Yeah, I mean they did. I mean they had their own individual issues. Was that their New Year's resolution? Say, hey, we ain't gonna cheat on no married man no more. Is that what? At least
three of them. Gloria had a good man, and just nobody.
Yeah. Gloria was the exception. They're the one with the least amount of screen time. Yeah.
Least amount of screen time. She went to church. She took care of her kid. And for some reason, she had weight issues for some fucking reason. And that wasn't even an issue because he loved the little meat on the bone. I think to Jamani's point, I think she
But that's an issue with Black women too.
True. I think the issue is she knew that if she introduced him to any of her friends, they would have fucked him. And that should have been in the story too. Why did you tell us? Because you would have fucked him. And I don't trust you. Savannah started off this movie saying, quote, I am desperate, I am single, and I have no morals, and I will fuck your man. And that described her for the rest of the movie and her two friends. I didn't write it. Terry McMillan wrote it, and Savannah said it. So I'm just like, yeah. And that should have been in the movie. I don't trust none of you bitches because I just heard what you've been doing with these other married men. So no, that's what's not happening. You ain't taking my man. Especially fucking Robin, because she looks mad better. So it's like if Gloria is concerned about her weight and her looks, Robin would be the one she'd be like, no, not you. Like I can't have you there.
But remember too, Loretta Devine's character, Gloria had because she felt like her husband left her because of her weight. Remember she said that.
Yeah.
She felt like because she had gained weight that he had left her. And then when they did have that one time they slept together, she said to him, I thought, we could do the same thing we did last time. And she started to talk about her weight. And he was like, no, it's not about you. But remember, it's in her head. Most of the time, it's in Black women's head. Most men don't care about you being a little bit. Some men do. But I'm just saying, it's in her head. Like somehow that got into her brain.
If you, I just find it, I feel like some people do. In the sense of
they do.
Like
they
what
do
happened
care.
to Robin's character in real life? What happened to her in real life? Because she gained weight over the years, obviously, because she had a kid.
No, she had kids.
But you saw Antoine. But you saw Antoine Farquhar, like him being caught, like kissing.
Oh, with Eddie
Nicole
Murphy's
Murphy,
ex-wife.
with Eddie Murphy's ex,
Yeah.
and then they're saying it's because she gained weight.
That's right.
Because
They shit on women.
I'm
Women.
just
I mean, they
saying.
went in. They went in on that poor woman.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
just saying,
like,
yeah. They were like, oh, because she
Sunshine
gained some
got
weight.
fucked up.
She's
And
still
I
a
think because
beautiful
Nicole,
woman. There's nothing wrong with this woman.
yeah,
She's still a very attractive
no,
woman.
oh, absolutely.
But
yeah,
black women are we're our worst enemy.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna defend it.
Yeah.
We make ourselves feel subconscious about our weight and what we look like. We do that to each other. I know that we're toxic. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're not. We are toxic to each other, and we break each other's self-esteem down most of the time. But men do it too. But I'm just saying. But we do it to each other because we're jealous creatures and we're jealous of each other. And so we got to break each other down and make each other feel bad for some type of stupid power that nobody really gives a shit about. But
or even has over a man that don't give a fuck about anything.
Exactly.
Could y'all see this movie being made today?
Huh?
And if
No.
so, how would they make it? Well, I was asking David.
Well,
like,
it was
who
gonna
would
have a
make the
sequel,
movie?
but Whitney died, just like Marcus said.
Well, I don't even mean that. I'm just talking about like
The
you know how like this is the decade we're in of remakes and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I think the movie.
Okay.
Not a remake. I think if it wasn't put out in 1995, I think the movie as written could be could be put out today because the themes are universal. The only change.
Oh,
Jamani,
Monty said no.
Why you
Monty
don't
said
think
no.
no?
I watched this on. Remember, I didn't see it when it came out. Right.
Mhm.
I'm watching this now,
okay.
present day. Right. And
now.
I watched this on Tubi.
Okay.
Right. Which is they put commercials in between the scenes sometimes. Right. So this was corporate sponsored. Right. And when I heard that when Loretta Devine told Donald Faison about and all the so to say F-bombs he dropped,
Yeah.
I was like,
oh well, I'm
how
not
is
talking
this
about that.
corporately sponsored right now?
Yeah. So
Okay, that's not what I mean. I don't mean because
But
like,
I'm saying
I don't mean
like a
certain
lot of the
slang.
stuff that a lot of the toxicity in it, I see that it would be problematic in this present time.
Why? People live this every day.
I
It's
know,
on
I
the
know
news
that
right now with the Good Morning America people.
yeah.
Like,
I know that people still live it and people still have these same opinions, but
Yeah.
I'm still think that there would still be outrage because people have outrage now as opposed to back in the day when people didn't have mediums to express their outrage, so to say.
So the reason why I was asking the question because I believe, I mean, even though I think, I would say the soundtrack probably wouldn't do that great because no one apparently listens to R&B anymore as far as like new music,
I
unfortunately.
still do.
It's like, well, yeah, I mean, but you know, we ain't buying it up, unfortunately.
I know.
Like we just downloading it and illegally, you know what I mean?
Please.
But you know what I mean? I bring that up because nowadays, especially movies now are looked at so critically, like everything like in it is it's critiqued. Everything like you know how we just kind of took apart like certain things like damn, like they're all saying we're married men and whatnot. They would like everybody from the critics, everyone would tear this movie apart. Like I think it would still make a lot of money, right? You know, a lot of women's gonna love it, but then I don't think it would still be seen as a classic in the sense of like, especially like having a character like Robin and her having a good I wouldn't necessarily call it a good ending, for example, but just like her being able to take charge of her life, leaving all those guys in the dust. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's just something I think about, especially when we look at the class. I think I asked this question about all the 90s stuff we've done so far, because some of the stuff I'm like, you know, I don't know if you updated it would fare very well. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm just unsure if this will be one of them because of the content. I think it'll be very controversial. I think this movie would be very controversial in the sense of the idea of the trope of the man, the black man that happened to once again have leaving their wife for a white woman. I would say in the age of Tyler Perry flicks or whatnot, that I don't know. I think people are just gonna be like, oh, this is just another Tyler Perry-esque type flick. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I would say that the issue I would see with this movie back then and even right now is the kids aspect, right? The kids are used as pawns or they're just constantly misused. Like whether it's Bernadette's character, it's, oh, well, you closed out the bank accounts or whatever. Oh, well, how am I supposed to take care of the kids? He said, I will always take care of my kids. And then she had nothing to say. And she just like, well, I'm gonna sue you or whatever, right? So she just uses the kids. Then you have Loretta Devine, who's like, oh, come over. You want to see Tariq, come over. Well, Tariq is here? No. He'll be back tomorrow. Okay, well, then I'm leaving then, right? And then you have Robin, who's, well, I'm gonna have the kid on my own, and you won't have anything to do with him. Who cares about the kid not having any connection or having a father figure or anything? It's yes, I'm standing up for something, but the kid will have to suffer.
Yeah.
So it's like the kids are just a means of showing something or doing something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like you had to write out Robin. If you update it, you would definitely have to write her out, because like how dare you be able to be the one to talk about you're going to keep this kid, knowing that you're married like you're sleeping with a married man, and you don't even tell him to slip one on, for one, like not even use protection or whatnot. But no, you just let him do whatever, bust inside, you do all this other crap, and then you had the audacity to say, "I'm raising this kid by myself." Who the fuck? Who the fuck are you?
So
wait,
let me ask you this.
She had the first guy.
Hold on. So when you cheat, hold on. If you're gonna cheat on your wife, do you think that it would be more? It would behoove you to put on a rubber rather than have her with birth control? I mean,
no, I didn't even say that. No, I said, why didn't she even tell him? Well, my thing is, it takes two to tango.
Why should she have to tell him to put on a rubber?
My
He's grown.
I understand that.
So
the point is that she told the first guy, what do you call it? Wendell Pierce,
right, to put it on, exactly. And I understand that, but we all know that she was with Leon far longer than she was with that guy, right? So when you get comfortable, what happens? You don't put the rubber on. You let the guy.
But my complaint wasn't the fact that he just didn't do it himself. My thing is, you have the audacity. You knew this man is married. You're doing dirt just like he is, right? And then you're just going to come out with just declare that this baby belongs to both of us, but but this baby's just me or whatever.
But you got to remember, she said the first time she was pregnant, he told her to abort the baby. So he doesn't want that baby.
Years back, I guess.
It doesn't matter. He didn't want the first baby.
Yeah.
So do you think he wants the second? Because he's still married. He was never leaving his wife.
I don't know.
So that's what I'm just saying. You got to think about what she's thinking about too.
Yeah. But so to Giovanni's point, the gay dad issue and how Tariq responded with he's a faggot and all that that would happen.
That would not.
But I wasn't talking about the dialogue as far as them redoing everything word for word. Obviously, there's certain slangs they were using. And I was like, oh, that's outdated. Like, you know what I mean? No, I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about the dialogue stuff, because yes, clearly, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, like, as far as having an updated version, but basically the exact same story concepts. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just more, with newer actresses.
I think as written, minus the dated dialogue with that, I think you'd be done today. I don't think any of the relationship things are so taboo now that, I mean, we watch plenty of shows with their single black mothers. I mean,
Harlem, and with the white women thing, Harlem. Then a lot of shows have
but guess what? They're not. No one's going to call them classics. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying is this movie came out. Like what I was saying, if this movie did come out, will we still be seeing this as classic? Because no one's calling Harlem a classic by any means. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the shows that y'all watch on BT, what should I say? BT Black, or is it called Black or Ebony or whatever it's called? Ebony, Ivory.
All black.
Exactly. I can't even remember the name of it. Like, no one. Like, is it? It's not going to win a Source Award. It's not even going to win a Source Award. Like,
it's not.
This was no Oscar.
It's not even going to get a Rotten Tomato. It's none of those shows will even get Rotten Tomato.
But this film was nominated. I mean, not just yes, the soundtrack won a lot of stuff, but
yeah,
the film wise, I think it was nominated. Like, I think Even Robin's character was nominated for an NAACP award. Like, you know what I mean? Her character as well as an MTV award. Will they have the same accolades? The movie, not the soundtrack, as it did back then. And that's why I'm like, I
because
don't know.
it's about the acting.
Yeah,
The awards are about how well that actress
Yeah.
played her part.
Yeah.
It's not about the subject
Yeah.
of Robin.
Yeah.
It's about how well did
Yeah.
you make us really believe that you were Robin?
Yes.
Did,
So-
did Whitney Houston too? Whitney was Savannah. I was like, yeah, Whitney is definitely Savannah. And
Yeah.
Bernie, absolutely, Bernie
Yeah.
is
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett. Angela
Well, yeah,
Bassett.
Bernie. Yeah, I mean, but the other actresses, I mean, they played well, but I would say, other than Angela's character, it wasn't really. It felt like some of the nominations were just more of, "Gone Girl, this is like some girl power shit. We're gonna give you that nom." Like that's what it felt. It didn't feel like it was like you did a great job acting. Because I'm sorry, anybody, as long as you look hot or whatever, hot looking, anybody could have played Robin's role. Let's be real. Robin's role wasn't that hard as long as you look fine as hell.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
Halle Berry could have played that easily. Like,
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
Halle
Like,
Berry
come on.
wouldn't have got along with the rest of the cast because she's not that person. So
Also
no,
true.
it wouldn't.
I'm surprised Whitney did, because you know Whitney was she was diva.
Well,
so
Whitney
this
was
is-
very
most of her
heavily on
scenes were
drugs at that
alone.
time. She
Yeah.
was bad on drugs.
If it
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Wait to Excel, we wouldn't have movies like Girls Trip,
Right.
which deals with same issues. So
Yeah.
it did kind of set that standard for these modern like black women, like films for that sort of thing. Girls Trip was more of a comedy, in that sense. But it definitely kind of set a standard. I don't think So I agree. Yes, I think it could have been of the movies we did today. I think minus technology, obviously, some little things.
Would you so you think it would be as I'm not just saying that they could just do it, but I'm just saying, like, you think it would be
with the
kinda
right cast, like
Yeah,
right
you gotta
cast?
put the right people
the
in it.
cast made this movie. The cast made this is Whitney
Yes.
Houston post Bodyguard movie and soundtrack. This is Angela
Yes.
Bassett post What's Love Got to Do with It.
I guess
Like,
nowadays it would have to be
cast
like
is
Beyonce, maybe
critical.
like Lizzo or something.
No,
Yeah.
no,
no, like yeah,
no, no
No.
Lizzo.
like it
No.
needs
Lizzo
to
gonna
be
be
hard.
already?
It'll be.
It has to be a cast that's equally as cohesive as this one.
Yeah.
Like
Keke
when
Palmer?
I watched
Keke
this,
Palmer?
I believe these women were friends.
friends.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
how well acted it was.
Well, I don't know. I looked at
Beyonce
two
and
friends.
Lizzo.
Two friends. I only looked at two friends, and the other two girls were just there. Like, again, I keep looking at David's background. That told you everything. It was two friends featuring these two other chicks. That's what it was.
But even to the point, who's at that level now that they could be like, this is Whitney Houston and Angela Bassett and two other people bringing this movie to the stage. Like, do you have that level of recognition? And I can't think of anyone right now.
It's
I mean,
it's
Keke
like-
Palmer's
and Taraji.
Who remember Set It Off? Remember Set It
Yeah,
Off?
yeah.
You cannot. That cast made me believe that they were the criminals that they were. They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And they won in
NAACP, all kinds of stuff.
they
Image
won
Awards.
awards for that too. And they were criminals. And they won awards from that prestigious, association. Come on. That's because they acted their asses off.
Yeah.
And when you and
I
they
will
were
argue-
great together. Like that whole cast,
Yeah.
they gelled together.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna challenge you on this, and it's gonna be very controversial. I would challenge you and say that the acting and Set It Off was a whole lot better than Waiting to Excel. As far as like when it got very emotional, I'm sorry, but like nothing beat both. Like you had I even to this day I keep thinking about like Queen Latifah's like final moments.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was insane. But even
oh
Jada
my
Pinkett's
God.
reaction,
That was
like, but like
one of the
emotionally,
best scenes in the whole show.
there was nothing like that in Waiting to Excel. Is my point, right? So
No.
I mean, other than
Well, they're
literally,
two
I guess
different
what Angela
movies.
Bassett.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, no, I
Yeah,
just
apples
mean
and
as far as
oranges.
emotional, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is you can have now set if you would have said like the cast of Set It Off and have that gel, I would agree. But this one it's not too much of a puzzle here for Waiting except for maybe Angela Bassett's character. You know what I mean? Angela Bassett's character, everyone else you can kind of piece correctly. Like not that hard, I don't think. Just one character. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's
her story carried the movie. Like she was the focus point on the movie. So you would need, and she's like a trained actress. Like Whitney Houston was a singer who wanted to act, right? So you would need an actor to kind of do that and kind of lead the role, like to do the whole fire scene right here. Like and then everybody else could be rounded out. I mean, oh yeah, Lupita, yeah, Keke Palmer, all right.
I was like Keke Palmer. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I
so
love Kiki.
see, there you
my
go.
girl.
So we got
There you
two.
go.
So Zoe, whatever. I like her. She's
Donna?
good with drama.
Who?
Yes, Gamora.
Well, if you need a singer actress, what do we do? Beyonce? No, Beyonce can't.
No. We don't need. We just got lucky with Whitney Houston. The only reason she would truly work was the soundtrack. Right? Like
Got
that.
lucky
Like
with
so.
Whitney
We don't need a singer.
Yeah, Whitney was a different. That was a different time, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Beyonce. Don't get me wrong. I like Beyonce stuff, but Beyonce's not an actress. She's
No.
just not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they tried with other singers like Aaliyah wasn't horrible, but she was.
But she wasn't an actress.
No.
She
I
just
mean,
wasn't.
come on. I'm sorry. I got to roll. I gotta get to Ruthless. But anyway, thank you guys very much for joining. Marcus, thank you very much for hanging out with us. I know we did this for a while. We had a lot of different directions. But if you like the movie, let us know. You put movies on the list. I'm adding Heat to the list because I love Heat. I was like,
Heat
that's
was
Heat.
good.
that movie
Heat
was
was
fucking
good.
awesome.
Long, but good.
Yeah, we got to do Heat. But anyway, guys, tomorrow we got Welcome to Chippendales first. I emailed to you guys. Then we're doing Wicked City and no, that's gonna be last. Chippendales. Mayor of Kingstown season 1. So Chippendales, Mayor of Kingstown season 1. Stacey and I are doing that one. And then Wicked City. That's gonna be so that's me. Jamani, are you doing that?
I haven't gotten through Wicked City. I can't. It's just.
It's hard. I know. So I think that's just me.
I'm with you, Jamani. I couldn't.
Like
if you guys did Hush, like I got a lot further in Hush than.
I didn't even finish Hush
Wicked
yet.
City, you say? Wicked City.
Wicked City on
Chris,
all.
it's one of those great shows on All Black.
The only thing y'all almost got me when y'all say it had to deal with like witches. I'm like, ooh, I'm in, and then
It's
I
charmed.
heard, and I was like,
it's not charmed, but David thinks it's charmed.
It's the Chocolate City Charmed. I'm not saying it's
Is it
good.
like voodoo?
It's the Chocolate
Voodoo or
City
witches?
Charmed,
Or-
complete with a stripper and a drug dealer because they're black.
Yeah.
So, but
'Cause I'm gonna say Angela Bassett killed it when she played that witch voodoo thing in American
Coven.
Horror Story.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
good in that.
Yeah.
She was good
Damn,
in
Angela
that.
Bassett
So-
great in everything.
But it's funny again.
Yes.
If you bother to watch this, right? We can say I haven't finished it. I said, but my point is, once I finish it, I'm gonna laugh at how that budget versus witches Mayfair witches.
How many episodes is this damn show?
Oh, I haven't seen Mayfair yet. Is it good?
I watched the first episode. First episode was nice setup. You don't see too much witchery. You see more like demonic shit though. There's other demonic
okay.
stuff going on.
Okay.
But
So that's why-
but it's not there. It's clearly a setup to what's about to happen with the Mayfair ladies. So
Okay.
So I say go read that review because that guy was like he was all over the place. So I text you guys a review.
they did do a lot of flashbacks. I noticed there's like a lot of flashbacks. I'm like, oh, we're flashing back again. So I guess that's where it's kind of similar to Interview with the Vampire in a way. But Interview with the Vampire, you already know it's flashback because just tape recorder right for the homie. This one you're just like, who are these
there's
people?
that.
Oh, that's the younger version.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the
and I'm
first
like, oh, why
episode,
don't y'all just say that?
the first episode is on the app.
Okay.
If you I haven't watched it yet. But anyway, so it's all black, Chris.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's all other apps.
it's worth a watch. Check it out.
So it's if you want to get the all black app, you can. I'm not saying you should go through all that. That's not what I'm
Wicked
saying.
City. Nah, I got other means to watch it. How many episodes of Wicked City?
6.
Damn. Are they like what, an hour episode?
No, half hour, if that.
Oh shit.
it's
okay.
Chris, I'm gonna say by the time you watch the first episode, you're gonna be out. You're gonna be out. I'm serious. It is terrible. It's terrible.
it.
And then when they get to the second episode and the magic that they do, oh my gosh.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get me out too. God damn it.
It's not, I was like, it was so bad, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna see where this goes. Because like the cliffhanger, there was actual, so like Mayor of Kingstown, well put together, great cast, no cliffhangers. Every episode is done. There's no need for you to watch the next one. You just generally want to watch the next one. But like this show, it was like a cliffhanger. Oh, who's gonna be this and who's the mother of who and what's gonna? I'm like, okay, well, let's see where this stupid shit goes. So I'm like, it was like, all right. I mean, I watched Charm. I'm like, this ain't. Yeah, it was about as good. as
There's no
Charmed.
Alyssa Milano, huh?
No,
No.
absolutely
I've seen
not.
better acting in fourth grade plays like this. Like
Yeah.
I would say the new
Crucible.
Charmed, and this Wicked City, they might be close that first season of the new Charmed, the first one. But after that, the second season and keeps it's actually on 4, I think. It got better, but I don't watch it anymore. But it still got better. The
I thought it
acting
got
got
canceled.
much better.
On
Yeah.
top of that, but I thought Neutron did get canceled. The Neutron.
Did it?
Oh, the one on CW, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it got canceled.
I put you like
okay.
this. I heard him
Alright.
stop talking about it. I heard him stop talking about it. I was like, oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, their acting was terrible that first season. It's bad.
Well,
Yeah,
like, especially-
I'll try to. I'll let y'all know how far I make it.
all right, you check it out. Anyway, so
Maybe because I set my expectations so low, it won't be
I
as
think
bad.
I think it can still beat it.
Oh,
I think you may be
God
like,
damn.
it's all black, bro. I
How?
get it.
Go
Just imagine
lower.
Mayfair Witches and this show are both done by the same company, and you'll be like, God damn, like how's that even possible? Like I'm,
It's about the same company.
yeah, because AMC owns all black, so it's all the same.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, snap.
And AMC is trash.
Damn, you think they're
as
gonna do
an
a
app.
crossover or something? Shit.
Nah, that ain't happening.
No
Like
crossover.
that, like all black is the south side of AMC, and they don't go there very often. Like it's like,
AMC
Wow.
just canceled 61st Street, and they finished filming the second
That's what-
season and won't air it.
it fuck. Well, they're going through a lot of financial problems. Actually, I didn't know that. AMC is having some serious financial problems.
Oh, really?
Because they got
Yeah,
I
rid
didn't
of
know that.
Better Call Saul and
Yeah,
now
so
Walking Dead's
they
going.
got they're probably gonna be canceling a lot of shit, and then like how the app is working, and so like it's not looking good. You know, a
Damn.
lot of companies are trying to survive. So I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
but I
All
saw-
Black used to have a crappy app too.
Oh yeah, that was shit. It still is.
Yeah.
It still is shit because like I tried to purchase it directly on the Apple, and it wouldn't even take. It's like fuck you. So then I have to watch it through the Apple TV app, and all the shows are at least 2 weeks delayed. Like that's why I couldn't watch Hush at first.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't on the app. I'm like Wicked
Yeah,
City.
Wicked City was like that. Wicked City, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn! And then this new
Yeah.
show called Snap. Snap was like that. It's only 2 episodes so far, but anyway, it took time for that to sync up with the other apps.
That's
And I'm like,
ridiculous.
God damn it! I'm like, but AMC Plus is like because that's the white side of town, so they got that worked out. The
Wow.
South side, you'd be like you going at your own risk. I was like, damn it, AMC. I was like, anyway,
Yeah.
it's the plantation. I love you guys. I will see you maybe tomorrow. I don't know what's happening.